On a personal note, what are those beautiful things that you shared with them while they were, offsets, like, when the shooting was not happening, when you were just generally chilling, sitting out and talking in some kind of a conversation? How was all that? Could you remember any of those, because NTR is a prankster and Charan is a little sober, but still they both, they complement each other big time. So how was it when you were not actually acting, but you were just sitting and relaxing? How was that?
It was always fun. They were always chatty. They definitely, the two together would mess around. And only when we weren't shooting. They would always be so playful together. And, you can tell that their friendship on screen is just as authentic as their friendship off screen. And it was so much fun to just sort of hang around, spend time with them, because it was just watching friends. And, they're so welcoming. I just felt like I was, able to chat along, and, they've known each other for so long as well. So to sort of just get to hang around with them and just sort of watch them get on was just so gorgeous. It was good fun. But we would always just, we'd just sit in a circle chatting away about, I can't even remember now, we would chat about anything. and then Rajamuli would be like, we go. We'd be like, oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Were you a part of any of these action sequences? I'm sure there was one sequence, I think, wherein all these animals jump from the, truck.
So I was, well, I mean, to be fair, I never had to do any fighting, thank God. But I remember I was in this obviously the big yellow dress, and my favorite shot, actually, I love it so much because I love being part of the drama, was when he's NTR is fighting, Beam is fighting, and then suddenly turns around and I'm there, and and everything cuts, and he then puts me into the car and sends me away. That's my action, was being thrown into a car and sent on my way. I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
But Rajmouli's greatness, and he's such a maverick director. Whatever he shoots, most of them, when you're actually in the scene, in the sets, you would not even know what would actually come up on the screen. Later, when you see on the big screen, you'll just get shocked. Oh my God, is this the thing that I actually was a part of, or I was actually there? And this how it transformed totally. So do you remember any such scenes where you thought that, okay, this was nothing there, and how come so much happened on the screen? So do you remember any such scenes?
Oh God, so many of them. I loved going behind the monitor and watching playback. I thought it was the most fun. But I think all of the scenes in the palace, the outdoor, when they're driving through. So I loved all the driving the car. I thought it was so much fun. But I felt with all the driving through and the setup shots, because obviously I see it from ground level. Yeah. All the shots that are high up and birds, they just, being that low to the ground doesn't do the set justice, so to see all of those context shots were amazing. And I think also, even especially with the dancing stuff, to see that many dancers behind everybody, I don't see them. So when I was dancing and when I see them all, you don't see how many people are there enjoying it and smiling and dancing. So watching that with all of those dancers behind me, I was like, oh wow, like I didn't know that was what it looked like. And especially the when we're all dancing and we're slowly rotating.
Yes.
And that with the dust everywhere, I was like, this is incredible. This is bigger than I could ever picture, know. His vision is unbelievable. Yeah.
When you actually sat down to see the film on March 25th, so when you were actually watching it, which was that one particular scene, or one or two scenes where you felt, oh my God, what is this? It is splendid. It is something beyond your imagination. What were those scenes?
The scene for me that I weep every time is the scene where Beam is getting whipped. And you see everybody around and he's refusing to kneel. That was my first day filming, and they'd already filmed that whole section. So Rajamouli sat me down and showed me it on his laptop. And I remember sitting there and just, I didn't move. I just stared and was completely overwhelmed with emotion. I thought it was beautiful and devastating. And, you know, I was shown so that I could react as Jennifer accurately. And it was my first day. And it was such a big thing to see on my first day, because I realized what this film was and how beautiful this film was going to be and how epic. And so that, for me, watching it with my reactions joined in, but watching it on the big screen after that being the first thing I saw, I was the same. I didn't move. I just stared and thought it was a total masterclass in emotion. You know, his song, when he starts singing, and the reactions and the emotions that those two give, it's devastating. It's I can't even use my words to describe it, but that, for me, it's incredible. It's one of my favorite scenes I've ever had the pleasure of watching.
NTR will be very happy if he comes to know about this. Did you tell him? Did you tell him that he was brilliant in that particular scene?
I think I did. I remember my first meeting. I obviously had seen him all bloodied and whipped, and I then saw him looking great, and I was like, I saw you, and you were. I think I probably made no sense. He was like, who is this person? I was like, you're amazing.
Okay.